Rated M for mature.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Fuck the prime time, bitch! Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
He knows when you've been naughty. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Kevin Porter, back again for another episode of Final Thoughts. Today, we're talking all about the 1984 Christmas horror classic, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I don't think it gets any better than Silent Night, Deadly Night in terms of a Christmas classic, okay? I don't care if we're talking comedy, I don't care if we're talking horror, drama, true romance, whatever. You got Santa Claus, you got kids that want to see, like, these kids are legit mesmerized by the appearance of Santa Claus throughout the whole film. If you spend the time to take a look at these kids' faces, they're just like, they light up. They're like, it's fucking Santa. So, and then top it off, that Santa Claus turns out to be some murderous 18-year-old kid that has some really severe trauma dating back to his days as a young 4-year-old. We'll get there in a second, but just, I don't know, the grotesque, gratuitous nudity or whatever, the grotesque nudity. I mean, there is some grotesque nudity within this film here. Shout out Lynn Quigley, you know, obviously getting thrown up on that rack there. Did I tell you that there's spoilers? Hell yeah, there's lots of spoilers throughout this episode, so if you have not watched Silent Night, Deadly Night, this is your warning. Go ahead, check it out, and then come on back. We'll be waiting. Alright, are they gone? Are they gone? You're gone! They're gone! Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this. This movie opens up with Billy and his two parents and his baby brother Ricky, okay? They're traveling to see Billy's grandpa, which apparently, I don't know, has this kid ever met his grandpa? His grandpa's like stuck up in some Utah mental institution, and the drive over to go see him seems to be very long. It's like kind of like if you were looking at a map and you look at Washington State and be like, here's Spokane, here's Seattle. That's a 6-hour drive, dude. So I don't know where these people are coming from. Maybe Salt Lake City, maybe not. But they show up to see Grandpa. Grandpa, apparently, he's gotten worse. Apparently, they're able to make that, they're able to confirm that within the first 30 seconds. You know, his parents walk in, they're like, Dad, are you okay? Then he looks at his wife and he's like, he's obviously deteriorating. We may need to pull the plug very soon. So the doctor and the parents and the little baby go into this back area to go discuss his the grandpa or whatever, which is kind of funny. They leave the Billy right there with the grandpa. It's like the whole time they're traveling as a family. It's like, oh no, Billy, you stay with grandpa, okay? He's not gonna do anything to you, okay? He obviously. Yeah, sure as shit, dude. The grandpa's just playing a trick the whole entire time. He's like, hey, Billy, what's up, little dude? He's like, you scared right now? He's like, don't be scared. Your mom can't help you. You like Santa Claus? Yeah, Santa Claus? Oh my gosh. Have you been bad? Because if you've been bad, Santa likes to punish naughty little boys, okay? And it's like, whoa, dude. It's like he's just like setting this kid up for, you know, again, for some mental illness down the road when it comes to Santa Claus, which obviously that plays out throughout the entire film. I mean, that's the basis of the film was this. I mean, if the grandpa, I mean, obviously the parents get murdered in the next, you know, scene or whatever after they leave. So he may have still had a Santa complex, but, you know, definitely right now, that complex starts with and ends with grandpa. Like, that grandpa, like, you know, it's like his first time meeting his grandson. He's like, I'm gonna fucking scare the shit out of this kid. Like, he's not gonna be the same ever again. And so they leave the you know, he's like, I'll be good. And like, you're right from the get-go, this little kid, whoever the actor is playing Billy as the young 4-year-old, he does a good job, dude. That kid had a lot of lines to remember. And, you know, yeah, I liked his performance. I thought his performance was very memorable, okay, throughout this film. One of the most memorable performances, which I think there's a lot of good performances. I mean, you're like, Kevin, come on. You're talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night, and you're getting all into the, you know, the acting, and I don't know, man, you smoke a little bit of cannabis, and, you know, it opens your mind up to a lot of different things when you're watching these films, and it's like, oh, look at Mr. Sims. He's giving a performance of a lifetime right there, but That's neither here nor there, I suppose. So yeah, we were introduced to this dude that's dressed up, because apparently, you know, throughout the film, we see like 3 different people that are dressed up in the Santa costume. So introduce some would-be robber that robs some mini mart for $33. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna commit first-degree murder in order to just get 33. I would have gotten a couple pack of smokes, okay? I would have been like, reached up there, okay, man, I'm gonna get that Marb, I'm gonna get that fucking Pall Mall. Well, actually, no. Really, are we being serious right now? Who the fuck smokes Pall Malls? The only time you're buying Pall Malls is when you're rolling up to a 7-Eleven at 4 o'clock in the morning, hammered as shit, and you're out of money. You're like, oh, my last $10, man, I gotta get a pack, dude. So it's like, you wake up, you feel worthless. You're like, what did I do last night? But then you still got that pack of Pall Malls, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the movie. This dude, again, commits first-degree murder. So they're driving back. They're taking that 6-hour drive between Spokane and Seattle. And all of a sudden, they roll up. They're like, everybody's sleeping. They roll up, and it's Santa Claus. They're like, hey, Billy. You know, hey, I know you just said that Grandpa talked to you, and he said that, you know, Santa Claus punishes all the naughty boys. But, hey, we're going to prove to you that that's wrong. This guy, his car broke down. We're going to help him. We're going to be good citizens. They pull over. As soon as the dude shows up, he's like, I don't think it's a real problem right here. And you're like, oh, shit, dude, you're in for some trouble here. And then, bam, he pulls the gun out. They throw that car in reverse. He's just like, fuck it. I already killed somebody tonight. Pop, 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 pop. Just lays out, dude. Just lays it out. And just kills the dad. Goes over to the mom, like fucking rustles her to the ground outside. Tears her shirt open for real no reason. And then kills her. Like, he's like, she slaps him back, and it's like, what do you expect? You just murdered her husband. Like, you can't hit me. And he just like slices her throat, and it's like, whoa, that was something. And then Billy just runs across the street and hides behind these bushes that you can obviously see him. If you were to like be standing across the street and look over, you're like, oh, there's that little kid. Like, I should go get him. But the killer, you know, he kills the parents. He doesn't do anything to the baby. At this point of the movie, when I'm really kind of like starting to dig the music for this film, I actually went ahead before even sitting down to record. I looked up the soundtrack for Silent Night, Deadly Night, dude. I'm gonna start rocking it. We got about like a week before Christmas, so I think I'm gonna sit around and listen to this score a couple more times. But again, I watched this movie twice, dude. 2 times in a row, dude. It's been my entire Saturday. Okay, I'm encompassing my whole entire Saturday with this film. So again, I'm digging the music. We're transferred over to some sort of I think it was a St. Mary's like orphanage or whatever. I probably got the name wrong. No, it's like, Kevin, did you take notes? You're like, no, I didn't take notes. We fly off emotion on this shit here. So nonetheless, young Billy, he's 8 years old now or some shit, and he's well within the Catholic orphanage's school system, which is the school of punishment, I guess. I don't know, dude. You feel bad for this kid right off the bat. They're like, hey, come up here and hang up your picture, and it's some picture of him murdering Santa Claus in a fucking reindeer or some shit, and you're just immediately, you feel bad because you're like, oh, sister, and it's like, hey man, the kid's obviously got a complex, okay? And then, so he has to go see Mother Superior. Mother Superior just shames him. She's like, what is wrong with you? Punish. And then, was it Sister Margaret or whatever? I forget her name. She's off to the side. She's like, she's the breath of fresh air in this orphanage. She's like trying to instill better ways of discipline, and help. She's like, hey man, this kid's fucked up. We need to help this kid. And no, not Mother Superior is not having it, okay? So by then, this kid's sent to his room. Then Sister Margaret comes in and is like, hey man, I think you need to come help us build a fucking snowman, all right? So he ends up going out there, but while he's heading downstairs to go build a snowman, he hears some naughty noises that are coming down the hallway there. I don't know, dude. He ends up walking in. I mean, like, he walks a decent amount of way, so I'm like, dude, these people have to be pretty fucking loud in order to get this kid's attention. So he looks through the people. He's like having these flashbacks of his mom getting fucking murdered and seeing her tits and shit. And so he's watching these two fuck, and it's like, what the hell? Then Mother Superior shows up, just throws him, and he takes off, and she comes in. She's like, son of a devil, and just like whips it out. She's like, punishment. punishment, which is obviously the theme of this fucking episode, the theme of this whole movie. I haven't seen the entire series, so I don't know like how 2, 3, 4, and 5 all play out, but I've only seen the first one, and I love the first one. Okay, so yeah, Mother Superior, just beats these 2 kids with a fucking belt for having sex, which is just ridiculous. So she goes downstairs, she's like, Billy. She lays down, she's like, dude, what'd you see? He's like, I didn't see nothing. She's like, good, you didn't see nothing, okay? Billy, you came out of your room before I told you to. That was naughty. And then she just lays into him with the belt inside his room, and you're like, come on, can we stop the madness already, Mother Superior? You're a fucking freak, dude. You're like beating these kids. You know, you're singling Billy out for no real reason outside of the fact that he hates Santa Claus, which is like, if you look at his file and read it and be like, damn, this kid's fucked up, dude. He saw his parents murdered by Santa Claus. No, we gotta correct this by forcing it upon him. It's like, this is what was wrong with the 1970s, right? Like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying we got it all right here in 2022 to go in 2023, but damn, dude, thank God we don't do that shit any fucking more. So, with that being said, we transfer up, to the next day. Oh, actually that night, yeah, the kid gets like tied up to his bed because he's having a nightmare, and then Mother Superior's just like, tough love, bitch. Whoa, dude, tough love, I guess, dude. So the next morning he's coming down, he's like, I guess I've learned my lesson, Mother Superior. She's like, good, go get your present. So he goes and gets his present, he's having fun. Then she's like, you'll see, Sister Margaret, my ways of punishment are the way. And Sister Margaret's like, yeah, no, dude, come on. Like, you were born in 1936, lady. You lived through World War II, kinda. Damn, dude, like, you're a crazy old bitch. You're just a crazy old bitch, Mother Superior. And she's like, no, okay, I'm gonna force him to sit down with Santa Claus, which, you know, obviously that goes like completely awry. He does nothing. Billy has nothing to do with it, and punches out Santa Claus. And Santa Claus is like, what's wrong with that kid? And you're like, I told you, Mother Superior, your shit just it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And then we flash forward because he's up in his corner. He's like, I want to be a good boy. I want to be a good boy. You're like just feeling so bad for Billy, dude. You're like, Billy, come on, man. I just want to give you a hug, dude. Like, it's okay you hate Santa Claus. We can hate Santa Claus together. And so fast forward 10 years later, you got Sister Margaret getting him a job with Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims! Like, crazy old man. Like, dude, such a gross old man, actually, dude. His teeth were all fucked up, and it's like, he's got that fucking crappy-ass balding pattern, but he's got that little bit of hair right there. So you're just like, dude, you just want to take that razor and just shave it right off. But nonetheless, man, like, you know, at this point in the movie, you know, Billy's grown up. He's a hunk of a man, which I've got to point this out. This stupid little comparison that I thought about was like, okay, you saw the dad, so he kind of looks like his dad, right? Like what his dad looked like in the movie. But if you think back to the grandpa and what the grandpa looked like, it's like if that guy had stood up, he would have been like half the size of the dad. It's like, it's a miscasting right there. They weren't thinking that one through, dude. Or just maybe they were limited in time, you know, so whatever. I have no idea. They're like, Kevin, we had to shoot this thing in 2 weeks. It's like, damn, that's Hollywood magic right there, dude. So yeah, Billy gets a job working at a toy store. He's doing pretty good. Again, the soundtrack kicks in. You're like, oh, all right, you know, digging it a little bit. You know, you're introduced to all the cast of characters within the toy store, which you're kind of looking around. You're like, damn, this old dude's like, because there's the old dude and then there's that blonde chick that we just have no idea what happens to them. Like, apparently they got out safe from Billy later on in the evening, but we see them all working throughout the months leading up to Christmas. Then finally, you know, Mr. Sims rolls it out, dude. It's like, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Billy. But Billy sees that Santa Claus logo. He's like, fuck. He's like triggered, dude. He's like completely fucking triggered. So fast forward to, they need a new Santa. So Billy's got to don the Santa Claus outfit and live his worst nightmare. Like, honestly, his worst nightmare ever. And what happens, dude? What happens? You got, what was it, Andy? Was his name Andy or Randy? Andy or Randy? I'm not too sure, but the guy that ends up trying to rape the chick in the back of the department store, like, you got that guy being just a complete fucking dick. And throughout the montage, they're at lunch, and he's like, hey, man, and pours out a little bit of whiskey. He's like, hey, you want some whiskey? And then Billy's just like, no, bro, I got milk, dude. I got milk that's been sitting out for fucking 10 hours. Like, like, back in the day, dude, like, did anybody know what an ice pack was? Did anybody know what an ice pack was? I don't know, whatever. That's neither here nor there. So fast forward to Christmas Eve, I guess. The day is over. They're locking up. Like, fucking Mr. Sims like, "Hey, time to get shit, please." And you're like, oh, gross, dude. Like, he's all talking to Billy. He's like, "Stick with me, kid. You'll think you're Santa Claus by the end of the night." And it's like, whoa, dude. I never want to party with you, Mr. Sims. Like, get the fuck away from me. Your breath fucking stinks. So you got Mr. Sims. You got I didn't really catch her name. It was like Mrs. like Rude or something. I don't know, dude. Like, they said her name when they were like trying on the outfit for Santa Claus on Billy, and then they said her first name when they were setting up all the because like their holiday party is at the store. They just pull up these like crappy little covers for the register area, and they just bring out some chips and some hard liquor, dude. And that's what they're doing. Like, Mr. Sims takes like 3 drinks within like a 2-minute span. You're like, whoa, bro, calm down, okay? He's like, you've been wanting to get drunk all day, haven't you? So, you know, fast forward, you got, I guess, Andy or whatever taking that chick to the back, which obviously Billy's got a crush on her. He takes her to the back. He's forcing his way upon her. Billy's like getting drunk, probably for the very first time. He's like, fuck, man, his head's all fucked up because he probably should be on some sort of meds or something. And, you know, he sees them being naughty, and they go to the back. He follows them to the back, and he proceeds again to just go fucking psycho. And he like takes up Andy like by the neck, fucking lifting him up. Just boom, dude. Just choking him out, dude. Boom, like the blood's coming out of his neck, and it's like, whoa! You know, which I had the director's cut, so it obviously adds a lot more of the gore to it, which, you know, it's still, you know, obviously the restoration of it wasn't, you know, obviously they had lost footage and whatnot, or whatever it was that caused them not to be able to, like, fully complete the scenes. So they stand out. So you know when you're watching the parts that were initially cut. But yeah, dude, he lays it in, dude. He lays it in. He's on a run at this point. So he takes out this dude, and then he takes out the other girl because, like, she fucking just realized, she's like, you're fucking batshit crazy. I need to get the fuck away from you. He ends up taking a box cutter knife and just like rips her up to the straight up the chest and whatnot. But I thought that part was pretty cool. with the Christmas lights, and then taking her out. And then Mr. Sims is like, I heard something. And he goes back there, and like he's like, oh, I guess I'm just drunk, okay? And like he's going back. And then boom, Billy pops out and just nails him in the head with a hammer and just like takes him out. And his face is like, ugh. Blood splatters. There's like chunks and shit. You're like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah. So I know everybody's just watching. Like, Kevin, you really like this movie? It's like, dude, I spent a good amount of my Saturday afternoon going through this shit. So here we go. And so then, you know, again, at this point, you're like, where's the old man and the blonde chick? They're completely gone. And so this other chick's like, Mr. Sims, and like she goes and searches for him, but then like she's like, oh shit, Mr. Sims is dead. And then Billy chases her down and like ends up like she's about ready to like get out of there, or she's about ready to take the axe and like smash out a window and get the fuck out of Dodge. But then Billy's like, hey, and she's stupidly like, oh, hey, what's up, Billy? And gets knocked out with an arrow, which, you know, straight up, dude, that was, again, I would assume his first time. Like, I don't see them doing archery at that orphanage. Like, they weren't really doing a lot to like, get those kids going in terms of, like, extracurricular activities or anything like that. And so Billy's on Christmas adventure at this point. He's searching out all the good and the naughty boys and girls. They show up at Lynn Quigley's house. She's like making out with her boyfriend, which is naughty, on a pool table and shit. You know, her little sister tries coming down and stuff, and like this guy's got blue balls. Which again, if you listen to the soundtrack, I'm pretty sure they said something about being blue within that song. So I was like, oh, that's fucking perfect, dude. Like totally getting the blue balls element. Maybe I just heard that. I have bad hearing, but. Again, I gotta go back and listen to the soundtrack and check it out. So we'll come back on that one later, I guess. But yeah, Lynn Quigley's like, oh shit, dude, I hear the cat. She goes upstairs, then boom, she's like at the door with her tits hanging out. And which you're kind of like, oh, you put on like shorts, but you're not gonna put on a top. Like that part kind of stood out. I was like, okay, naughty. And which fucking dude, Billy shows up. He's like, naughty, Lynn Quigley. And bam, just like chases her around the house and like picks her up and then just like spears her onto this like this mounted deer head, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? And it's like, again, the director's cut, you're just seeing like it poke through, and her like, it's just like, dude, it was a pretty good spot. Her boyfriend comes up, he's like, fuck, somebody already beat me to the chase, dude. She's dead, and just he's like, Billy gets after her, dude, and they're wrestling and stuff. He's like, punishment, and just like he hose him outside the window, and he's got like you know, glass sticking into his chest and through his neck and stuff. And it's gnarly looking, dude. And you're like, damn, killing spree. Okay, here we go. Sister Margaret ends up showing up and, like, you know, ends up going to the police station trying to, like, track down Billy. So the cops end up finding out about some sort of serial killer rolling around the streets, you know? And there's like, I guess we gotta bring in Santa Claus today. So they show up at somebody's house and they're like, oh shit, you know, it's Santa. But I guess I missed that one too. I guess we had 4 people dressed up because that dad's just like, I was trying to surprise my daughter. And like, they just roll in there. They're like, Daddy! Like, whatever, dude. Whatever. It's like a little bit of comedy, I guess. But at least they didn't shoot that guy. You know, the father later on in the film, we'll get there. But that guy wasn't so lucky. So we had one more adventure for Billy. He shows up in the forest. We have 2 sets of boys showing up. They're like, these 2 dudes are like, yeah, we're gonna go sledding. My sleds are awesome. And then these 2 other dudes show up. They're like, hey, what's up, dude? And they're like, hey, we're here to like steal your fucking sleds. And they end up just like beating the shit out of them. Not really beating the shit. I mean, you like hit him once in the stomach and like put him in a chokehold. The other dude just got pushed down. So they steal the sleds. They're like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. So they go down, and it's like they're like, oh, we're going so fast, but it's like you could tell like in the shot they're like pushing themselves, and it's just like they're not really going that fast. So somehow the first dude makes it. He yells back up. He's like, your turn, dude. So the second bully comes down. You know, he was naughty. Both of them were naughty, which is, again, I guess the first one just wasn't naughty enough, I guess. So the kid's going down. He's having fun. He's like, yeah, yeah. And then all of a sudden Billy shows up. He's like, punishment. Boom! Just nails that kid's fucking head right off his fucking, you know, it goes flying down. Again, you got the director's cut spots in there, so it's a lot more grotesque. You know, you got the head laying next to the body. It's like, oh, shit! And then we cut to the orphanage. Next day, these kids are up. They're like, yeah! It's Christmas time! They're like, fucking Santa's gonna show up. It's gonna be a good day. You got Ricky, Billy's little brother, hanging out there. Mother Superior's in a wheelchair now, which you're like, that's what you fucking deserve, lady. So we're all building up to this orphanage scene here where Billy's gonna show back up, okay? So the cop shows up initially. There's some sort of father, you know, from the church or whatever shows up, and he's like, he's Santa Claus, but he's deaf. So the dude's like, hey, stop. And like, the guy doesn't stop because he's deaf. I mean, that's their explanation, right? And he shoots Santa Claus, which these kids are like, oh my god, it's Santa Claus. And they're like walking up to him, and that kid just gets blood shot all over him. You're like, whoa, holy shit, more traumatization. Like, all these kids are traumatized for generations to come, dude. Like, Santa Claus is an evil, evil motherfucker to these people. Well, at least they saw 2 Santa Clauses murdered within one day, I guess. I don't know, dude. So anyway, that cop's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. The paramedics come up, they clean this guy up, you know, they're like, okay, Santa Claus is dead. Santa Claus is dead, because at this point, the main sheriff guy and, again, I guess Sister Margaret were rolling back. And, you know, which again, like, the travel time throughout this film is really long. Again, these people are going from Spokane to Seattle, dude, each every time, dude. There's nothing going on in Utah, apparently. So they get it over the radio that, hey, this wasn't the right Santa Claus. Billy's still alive. So the guy's like, hey, stay there, protect the kids. Billy's on his way. So this guy's like making his rounds. He shows up, he goes down, and you're like, oh shit, where's Billy? And then he's going down into the cellar area, and then fucking walks back up, and then, you know, again, here for a little bit more punishment, Billy shows up and just bam, fucking nails him. He just falls down the stairs, dude. And it's like, it's pretty satisfying, because the dude is a pretty ugly dude, I thought. Whoever played that cop was just like, this guy is really out of place right here. So it's kind of cool to see him fucking nail those stairs, and you're just like, yeah, just totally fucking satisfied at this point. So Billy's going inside. One of the kids, again, he sees Santa Claus. He's completely mesmerized by it. He's like, boom, on it. Here we go. Let Santa in. And Mother Superior knows it, dude. She's like, fuck, I fucked up. The sins of my past are coming back to haunt me. Billy goes after her. He's got the axe in the air. All of a sudden, bam, bam, just eat shit. Right, he's got Mother Superior. Mother Superior's like, fuck you, Billy. He just throws the hand off, which is like, kind of like you're kind of rooting for Billy at that point, because you're like, dude, Mother Superior was such a piece of shit that she deserved that axe to the head, dude. Like, she fucking deserved it. But no, Billy gets shot. He gets killed right in front of his little brother, Ricky. And that's how they close it off. Ricky's just sitting there. He's just like, fuck, oh my god. He realizes at that point, he's like, dude, you did this to my brother, Mother Superior. You're naughty. So naughty. So that's Silent Night, Deadly Night. I hope you enjoyed that rendition of it. Again, if you haven't watched it, bam, dude. Hopefully that justifies going out and seeing it just based on the excitement level, dude. Like the excitement level that we have for Silent Night, Deadly Night. I think it warrants a view. I think it warrants a view, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got going on this week here on the channel, dude? We got lots of stuff, as always. Brand new episode of Video Rental Chaos, our holiday special. I'll go ahead and announce it right now. It's Home Alone. Holy shit. We watched Kevin McAllister stay home alone all over the span of a 48-hour time frame. And what kind of hijinks does he get into? Stay tuned. If you haven't seen Home Alone, it came out in 1990. I'm pretty sure we've all seen it, but nonetheless, though, it's a fun episode, and I think you all really enjoyed very much. But outside of that, I know we got another pickups video that we're working on. Again, I guess I'm searching out another final thoughts video. I gotta watch something else so I can come on here and rant and rave for fucking however long that was about how much I either liked it or disliked it. Obviously, this week we liked Silent Night, Deadly Night. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you haven't been naughty, because if you've been naughty, you know what that means. Santa Claus gotta bring down the punishment to your face. Until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Red rum! Red rum! Red rum!
I took care of it. That's why God made fathers, babe. That's why God made fathers.